problem, we are given a quadratic equation, f of x being equal to negative 2x squared plus x plus 6. That's standard form. Now, calculate the coordinates of the turning point of f. Well, we know how to get the x value. Remember, our turning point has form P and Q, which comes from y is equal to a x minus b all squared plus q. So that's the value we're being asked, and p is always equal to minus b over 2a. You can also complete the square, but it's a long laborious process which I'm not interested in right now. 2, and then our a value is minus 2. And as we can see, the negatives just cancel out, and we have 1 over 4. To get our q value, we are just going to say that is equal to f of p, which in this case is equal to f of 1 over 4, of course. Right, so what does that mean? Well, if we take this value, punch it into this equation right over there, drums please, we should get the value. Man, I should just do this better. That equal to sign is ugly. This one's slightly better. Should get the value 49 over 8. Okay. So the coordinates of our turning point, if we give it back in a neater form, is 1 over 4 and 49 over 8. Determine the y-intercept of f. Standard form. Okay, so we have the ability to just write it down. The y-intercept of f is 0 and 6, or we can say it's also equal to f of, well, that's where x is equal to 0, so that's minus 2 times 0 squared plus 0 plus 6. So that's all equal to 0, and that's equal to that, and brings us right back to our initial answer. Determine the x-intercepts of f. Well, for that one, we just place the entire equation equal to 0, so that's minus 2x squared plus x plus 6 all equal to 0. Well, multiply or divide by negative 1 right through, and we'll have 2x squared minus x minus 6. Then we can just factorize this. It's all equal to 0, of course, which gives us the factors 2x plus 3 and x minus 2. Feel free to use the quadratic formula as this alternate option. So x is equal to negative 3 over 2 and x is equal to 2. Right, sketch the graph showing clearly all intercepts with the axis and the turning point. So let's just see if we can clean up the screen slightly. Don't need that. There we go. It's fine, we'll take that. Okay, we'll take that along. It's neatly over there. Let's get ourselves a set of axes going. So that's one vertical, one horizontal. Let's see if we can draw all of these points. Well, so negative 3 over 2, if we take that to be 1, it should be, let's say, negative 3 over 2 should be over there. And let's use some symmetry, and 2 should be over there. You know where this cuts, that's where x is equal to 6. So we'll say that is 0 and 6 right over there. And then where is our turning point? Well, if this is half of 2, this is half of 1. So that this should be over there. 49 over 8 should be just 6,125. So in decimal form, that should be your value. So that's 49 over 8. And as we can see, because our a value is negative, we need a frowny shape, and that is provided by just carefully going through all our points. So it goes that way, and that goes that way. Can't do better than that. No. That's about as good as that gets. Turning point marked, y-intercept, and the values of our x-intercepts neatly over there, as neatly as possible. So, the sketch of the graph is done. What else? Determine the values of k such that f of x equal to k has equal roots. Well, remember, this expression describes f of x. So for number 5, we'll have minus 2x squared plus x plus 6 being equal to k. Now, roots is the giveaway word over here, so it's the nature of the root question. For equal roots, delta needs to be equal to 0. So let's just get this thing into standard form first, because we do not have a 0 on that side yet. How do we get one? Well, simple algebraic manipulation, plus 6, subtract k on both sides. So minus k equal to 0. So remember, we need our a value, we need our b value. We'll just write it in over there. It's 1, and that entire expression over there is our c value. So back to the bright green. 4 equal roots, need to remember that delta is equal to 0, which means of course that b squared minus 4ac needs to equate to 0, and we'll take that right out of here. So we'll have 1 all squared, because that's our b value, minus 4, our a value is negative 2, and our c value is obviously 6 minus, not 6 minus 6, that would just be 0, 6 minus k, and that's all equal to 0. So that's equal to 1, well, minus 4 times minus 2 times 6, that just gives us positive 48, and then minus 4 times minus 2 is 8, times negative k gives us minus 8k, and that's all equal to 0. Therefore minus 8k is equal to minus 49. Therefore k is just going to be equal to 49 over 8. Now let's interpret this result quickly. They wanted equal roots. Let's see if this makes sense. Now remember, these are the coordinates of our turning point, and then that k is being subtracted. Remember, it said 6 minus k. So our k value is 49 over 8, but if we subtract 49 over 8, the turning point is going to go down, and that's where our parabola is going to turn. That's giving it only one x-intercept, which will equal 1 over 4, and that's going to give us what? Equal roots. Graphical interpretation, meaning the x-axis acts like a tangent to the turning point, at the turning point of the graph. Right, if the graph is shifted 2 units to the right and 1 unit upwards to form h, determine the equation h in the form y is equal to a x plus p all squared plus q. So let's have a look what effect that's going to have. So remember, h of x is what they want. And what is h of x? Well, h of x is f of x. Huh? But it's shifted 2 units to the right. So let's make allowance for that. So that's going to be minus 2. And then it's 1 unit upwards, which means it goes up by 1. So how do we deal with this then? Well, that just means we are going to have, if we have a look at our turning point for, it's going to be minus 2. And then we have x minus 1 over 4, not 1 over 2, minus 1 over 4, but then we need to go further 2 units more to the right. So that takes care of that. And remember, we had plus 49 over 8, and then that's just plus 1. So how does that affect this graph? What's the end result? Well, if you use your calculator for the basics over there, you'll find out that h of x is equal to minus 2. It's going to turn out to be x minus 9 over 4. And remember, it's all squared, and that turns into 57 over 8. And that's as good as that gets.